I've often said the Ego is the Cadillac of outdoor power equipment when it comes to the average homeowner. Greenworks has been a nice kind of Goldilocks kind of thing there, where it's been like, good value for the money. We've often recommended it as a less expensive option, but they've kind of thrown it another gear. Well, here's what we got for you today. We're going to look at the spring sale prices for Ego versus Greenworks and see what's, maybe the best option. And stick around to the end because I actually got to have an email chat with the CEO at Greenworks and ask him a handful of questions. And if you want to hear what he had to say about it, just hold on. But let's jump into the sales. Now, we're going to start off with Ego. And I got to say, full disclosure, we have a professional relationship going back a while with Chevron, Ego's parent company. We've worked with Flex, with Skill, with Cobalt, and also with Ego. We've gotten a couple of their snowblowers. I purchased with my own money their snow shovel and the blower, and there's a bunch of other stuff. So anyway, I just want to get out. We have a full transparency kind of policy here, and I want to make everyone know where, there might be some sort of, there's no alliances, but people are always worried about bias and stuff like that, so we try to throw it out there. Anyway, here is the Ego mower. This is your quintessential. This is the LM2114. So this is a push mower. It comes with a 6 amp-hour battery. It comes with a 3,200 watt charger. Ego has some of the best chargers in the market, some of the best battery tech in power tools overall. And you're getting this deal here, 11% off, down to $400. That's a solid 21-inch mower. We're going to kind of gold standard that one, all right? Now, here we go. We're taking it a step up. This is the LM2132 SP. That means it's a 21-inch mower. SP means it's self-propelled. So now we're getting into a self-propelled mower. It's got the select cut. Now, select cut means it comes with multiple blades. Usually it's a 3-blade system, and you can choose how to mix and match those blades if you want to mulch, if you want to lift and cut, if you want to bag, that sort of thing. So that's a nice option as well, all right? Then it's got the touch drive, which means it's super easy. You just kind of, as long as you keep your hand, Tesla-esque, as long as you keep your hand on it, it knows exactly how fast to go, and you can control it in the whole 9 yards. It's super, basically making push mowers as easy as it possibly could be, okay? Now remember, self-propelled, the SP is self-propelled, so when I say a push mower, I'm basically a walk-behind mower, okay? So you're looking at a limited time deal, 14% on this, taking it down to $600. Now that said, this comes with not one but two of the batteries. So you're getting two 4 amp-hour batteries. Always remember when you're buying these deals, when it comes to electric, with gas, you can always buy more gas, right? And you can get more gas cans and stuff. With electric, you want to buy the package that fits your yard size. So do some research going, how much runtime am I going to take? How big is my yard? How am I got heavy grass, thin grass? All those things come into factor, and then buy the right one, okay? Now, the bonus is when you buy the other stuff, you get batteries with that. That's going to expand your capabilities, so also take that into account. All right, let's keep going here. All right, and then next up, we got the brushless cordless leaf blower. This is the 56 volt. Of course, they're all 56 volt. They're all brushless. 765 CFM. That is a Class 5 Hurricane in your hand. I have this blower, bought it myself. Absolutely love it. It's a great blower. It's well balanced. It's super powerful. In this case, though, you're getting the full kit. You're getting the charger, you're getting the battery, and you're getting a BOGO on this with an extra bonus battery. When it comes to Ego batteries, I'm not gonna lie, they're pricey. In fact, any of these outdoor power tool batteries are pricey. So getting a free battery with that is a pretty good deal. You're looking at a price of $330 on this. Then if you don't need quite that much power, you're getting here, this is the 530 CFM. Now this is the full kit as well. It's not showing it, but you are getting the battery and the charger with this as well. Now 530, let's call that like a class 1, class 2, okay? It's not as powerful, but it's decent. Is it gonna move heavy wet leaves? No. Is it gonna move snow? Probably not. What you're looking at here is like grass clippings, dry leaves, blow drying the dog, that sort of thing, all right? It's for a lot of people, it's gonna be more than you need, all right? But for some people who are like, I've got stacks of wet leaves and I want to move snow in the winter and I want to do all, then maybe you need something with a bit more oomph. But for everyone else, this one's probably good enough, all right? Now let's keep going. We got the trimmer. Now this is a 16-inch trimmer. Comes with a 4 amp-hour battery, comes with a 320 watt charger, and there's a bonus 2.5 amp-hour battery. Gotta love these BOGOs that Ego's been doing this year. Love this trimmer, good balance there. You got the battery controls on the back, handle in the middle. If the shaft breaks down, so you can store it easily. It's a carbon fiber. In fact, it's also a telescoping shaft, I should point out, so that if you don't need all that length, you don't have to have it all the way out there. Anyway, it's got the line IQ, it automatically advances the whole 9 yards. 16-inch cutting swath we already talked about. You're looking at $330 on this. Again, when you talk about Ego, we're talking about the top of the line. This is the luxury version of outdoor power equipment for the homeowner. So that's why these prices are in this kind of realm, okay? Then we're going to go to a slightly smaller one, 15-inch trimmer here, okay? Split shaft. Again, the shaft can break down, but it doesn't telescope. It's like carbon fiber. It's going to come with a 2.5 amp hour battery and charger. This is kind of just your base level trimmer for your average household. Same kind of builds, setup. You got the battery at the back, controls up back there, handle in the middle, but at more reasonable price, bringing it down to $159 for the full kit. All right, let's talk chainsaw. 16-inch, probably what I consider to be 16 inches, like the 18 is the cutoff. At 18 and above, you're looking at full-size chainsaws. 16, 14 is like the around the yard kind of chainsaw. 12 and under is like mini chainsaws for pruning or for chopping up small logs, stuff like that. This is a great homeowner size chainsaw. You can fell a lot of trees with a 16-inch. You can cut up lumber, not lumber, but firewood, stuff like that. This is a great general purpose kind of chainsaw. And you're looking at a full kit with this, 4 amp hour battery, charger, the whole 9 yards, ready to go for $269. Ego's got a great reputation when it comes to chainsaws, some of the best electric chainsaws on the market. All right, then we got the Ego hedge trimmer. Of course, this is just kind of a bonus in here for people who got to trim those hedges there. This is a bare tool on this. All right, there's no battery, no charger. Hopefully you're buying something else that's going to get you that battery. Maybe you already have them. Anyway, you're looking at a price of $129 on that one. All right, how about this? Ego 8-inch earth auger, cordless earth auger with anti-kickback. Trust me, that's something you want on something like this. Full kit on this, all right? Charger included, 4 amp hour battery included. This thing's gonna dig some serious holes for you. Let me see what else they got. Number 1 rated, 65 foot-pounds of torque, 8-inch earth auger bit included. Will do 50 holes on a single charge. I would like to see that do that around here, the ground I have around here, which is pretty hard. High and low speeds plus reverse functions, that can get you out of a bind there. Anyway, $450 on that, and you know what? Useful around winter. Use it for ice fishing as well. All right, we got the pole saw. I'm a big fan of pole saws. I use them all the time. I do not have the Ego pole saw. Maybe I'll have to grab it. But here it is with the telescoping LED line cut indicator. It's 56 volts, 2.5 amp hour battery, charger, full kit here. And you're looking at a price of $300, $299 on that one. And we cannot leave out the zero turn option because a lot of people, if you're really getting into this, you got a bigger yard. A lot of people are like, well, what about the zero turn? This has been out for years at this point, okay? It comes with 4 10 amp hour batteries, plus 2 extra 5 amp hour batteries. It can hold 6 total. So you're filling up the full battery bank there. You've got the 56 volt, 42 inch cut, zero turn, real comfy kind of mower. If you've been looking for a quiet zero turn mower that's going to use the same battery platform and is established and it works and it's a proven track record, this is the one you're looking for, okay? Now, we've talked about Ego. That's what's out there right now with Ego. Let's talk about what the options are with Greenworks. Now, Greenworks has 5 lines of power, I think. They've got a 24 volt line, they've got a 40 volt, a 60 volt, an 80 volt, and an 82 professional one. Now, we're not going to be talking about the professional one, and we're not going to be talking about the smaller ones. I want to compare apples to apples here, okay? So if we step over here and we take a look at the Greenworks 60 volt mower, this is their self-propelled, brushless motor, LED lights on the headlights up there so you can mow at night. And honestly, I joke about mowing at night, but with one of these mowers, you could probably get away with it, okay? Because it's not that loud. My son did some mowing with, we had some Hart mowers, electric mowers, and we had to turn people away because everyone was contacting him because they loved the fact that he could mow their yard and they could sit in their house and not be disturbed. They wouldn't even know he was out there mowing because it's just not that loud, okay? I'm not saying it's whisper quiet, but it's not loud enough to annoy the neighbors, unlike gas mowers and blowers and all that kind of stuff. Now, things to consider if you've got an HOA or you live in a city with a noise ordinance kind of thing. Those can be, how those Karens can get. Anyway, $447 is the price on this, and you're getting two 4-amp hour batteries. You're getting the rapid charger, dual port rapid charger with this. Steel deck on this mower with the bagger, the whole 9 yards, coming in at $447. You're not getting the triple blade kind of situation like you can with the other one, but easy push start. It's got vertical storage, single lever adjustment. It can hold two batteries. I think it only runs off of one, but you can have the second battery in there so you don't have to run back to the house and get the other battery if you run out. Right here it's saying that it's got 60 minutes of run time to cut 3 acres of a yard, which is larger than most yards. I mean, remember, a lot of people got to remember the average yard size in the United States is a 1/4 acre or less. Keep that in mind when you're looking at these, because people always seem to go, well, I got 40 acres. Well, clearly we're not talking to you, Schmedley, all right? We're talking about the average homeowner, okay? You do your 40 acres and we're happy for you, okay? All right, let's talk then about another option here. We can take a step up. Look at the sleek racing car designs on this one. This is another one of their 60-volt mowers. Comes with two 4-amp hour batteries. Comes with dual rapid charger on it as well. You're looking at a $600 price point. Now, this is a 25-inch mower, and I think it gets it by doing dual blades underneath. I think that's how they manage that 25-inch, because that's a pretty wide. There you go. You can see the dual blade system on that versus your standard, single blade system, which is, if you want to get a yard done fast, that's the way to do it. I'm trying to go back to the other one to see if it's got any pics of the underside here so we can show you what it looks like. I don't think they do. But anyway, no. So you're getting your dual blade system here, ultra wide at 25-inch, and you're paying, the price for it, $600. Let's see what else they've got. Here's their version of your 16-inch grass trimmer. Again, the battery sits in the back. You got the controls back there, handle in the middle. I don't think could this be broken down for winter storage? Yes. Is it a quick takedown? No. But for a basic 16-inch brushless trimmer, high speed, low speed, reversible, or responsive, I should say, not reversible, adjustable auxiliary handle, aluminum shaft, it's your basic trimmer there, okay? Bump head to feed, that's kind of a nice feature, and $160 on that one. All right, let's talk blowers. We talked about the Ego. I got to tell you, they've really stepped up with this Greenworks 610 CFM, not quite the Class 5, Class 4 Hurricane. All right, it's a pretty good one here. You're getting the 2.5 ampere battery, you're getting the charger, you're getting the blower, all of it for $180. You're not getting that BOGO, but you're also not in that $300 price category. Let's keep going here. Then we got the chainsaw, and I will say this. Greenworks chainsaws are not as tried and tested as the Ego chainsaws. I don't know if I'm ready to say that they're bad, because they have pretty good, if you look at this, 6,000 reviews. And if you look at it, it has a little bit of an issue there on the 1 star coming up to 6%, but that's less than, we have a rule called the fish hook rule. And that's if it comes back down, it comes up and the 1 stars really get you. The 1 stars aren't high enough to qualify as a fish hook. They have to be higher than the 2 and the 3 stars to qualify. So it could just be a case of people getting chainsaws and thinking they're going to be using them and just being like, I don't really know if I want this. Maybe it scares me. I can see that a lot with chainsaws. And you got to understand, this is an 18-inch chainsaw. They probably didn't realize how big it is. That's a big chainsaw. You could start really cutting down big trees with an 18-inch chainsaw. That's not for light work, pruning, the hedges and stuff like that. Maybe, cutting up some firewood. You can do it. But again, it's a bigger, more serious chainsaw. All right, let's keep going here. Then we've got their pole saw, 60-volt, 10-inch brushless, cordless pole saw, 14.5 foot reach. Again, we're not seeing any of the special kind of stuff like we're seeing with Ego. It's not, it's not telescoping, it's not carbon fiber, it doesn't have a laser cut line. Although, let's be honest, can you really see the laser cut line when it's 10 feet away? Maybe you can. I'm probably not paying that close of attention when I'm just pruning limbs off a tree or something like that. But again, we're not looking at that price. We're looking at a 60 volt, which is a few volts higher up than the 56 volt from Ego. I don't think you'll see a real performance difference, but you can feel good about it if you want. Anyway, 2 amp hour battery charger with that coming in at $189. Next up, we've got the backpack sprayer. Look at this, 60 volt cordless backpack sprayer, weeding, spraying, you could be fertilizing, you can do all sorts of stuff to keep that yard green. $175 on that. I could have used that when I lived in California. The base of our house, they do this thing when they build these houses where it's on a cement pad, it comes out, and then there's a bit of an overhang. And oh my gosh, black widow spiders would just ring the house. All right, they never came in the house. They'd come in the freaking garage, but they wouldn't come in the house. But I didn't like it with the kids playing out there, and I hate spiders. Anyway, enough of my phobias. 175 on that one. Then look, we got an auger here as well. 60 volt brushless earth auger, post hole digger, great for fences, gardening, planting, yada, yada, yada. Auger bit, battery, everything else sold separately. So you got to bring your own bit, bring your own battery and charger, but you're looking at a price, lowest price in 30 days, $260 on that one. All right, then we got the edger. This is something we didn't see over there at Ego. They do have them. They're just not on sale right now. 8-inch edger, 2.5-inch, pro depth, tool-free adjustment, equivalent. They're saying this is the equivalent to a 27cc gas power engine there. Anyway, battery charger not included on this one, but you're looking at a price of $160 on that. All right, then we got, you know what? This is the bonus, is Ego's got another gear. So we can take it now up to 80 volt. We're going to do a quick run through on the 80 volt to see, because at that point, you should see some performance difference on this. So Greenworks, 80 volt, 25-inch. Again, you're looking at ultra wide, 25-inch, self-propelled, LED headlights, the aluminum handles, lightweight as it can get, but it's got the steel deck on it. You got the battery, the charger, everything included in the kit. Lowest price in 30 days coming in at $559, $560. And if you remember, you're looking at that Ego, that's even cheaper than the higher end Ego that we looked at. And now you're at 80 volts with a 25-inch wide one. Now, if you don't want to spend that kind of money, you can still be in the 80 volt line. We have this one. This is just your basic 21-inch, self-propelled again. All right, 80 volt, 21-inch, self-propelled, 4 amp hour battery, charger, the whole 9 yards for $420. For $420, guys. All right, and gals. All right, I don't know who's mowing. I'm not going to choose. If you want to mow, you go mow. My wife loves mowing. Well, she likes the riding mowers, but we don't have a big enough yard for that. Anyway, point is, $420, that is a ridiculously affordable price to get into an electric mower. And I know there's going to be a lot of you who are like, gas is the way. Gas is for fools. I'm sorry. It just is at this point. I've done whole videos. People are trying to sit there and claim that gas is less expensive. Total cost of ownership over the entire lifetime. I have whole spreadsheets. We've done the whole math on it. Sorry, the math is the math. It's about the same. And here's the difference. With electric, I walk in, I pop the battery in, I press the button, and it goes. I don't have to do any maintenance, really. I don't have to worry about, like, in the winter, I don't have to, like, drain it and make sure all the gas is out of it, run it dry, and make sure there's oil and all this other kind of stuff, and check the carbs and all. I don't have to do any of that, all right? I'll be honest, maybe you love yard work. For me, I got better things to do, all right? So with a mower like this, I can just press the button and go, and it works every single time. And in the winter, you know what I can do? I can hang it up on a wall. I don't have to worry about fluids that are in it. All right, that's a whole nother discussion. So you keep your little, if you want to keep using gas, no one's going to stop you, dude. Okay, other than California, no one else. Okay, probably some other states. Okay, eventually they're going to come for your gas. But the point is, electric's just easier, and the cost at the end of the day is the same. So look at this, $420, and you can start, not having that hassle and get back to getting your weekend back. How about that? All right, Greenworks 80 volt, 18-inch cordless brushless chainsaw. Again, no issues. I'm not seeing anything on this chainsaw, but I'm not saying that there's not. Let's look at the stars on it. You get a little bit of a thing, but it's not. Again, 9 is the combined score, so it's below the fishhook level. But again, do your research for yourself. $300, you're getting an 18-inch chainsaw, 80 volts, full kit, battery charger included. Not a bad deal. We got the blower here. Here we go, 770 CFM. Now we're up to that class 5 Hurricane here. 80 volt, full kit, 4 amp hour battery with charger, the whole 9 yards for $254. $254, that's like the price you pay for the tool-only version of the Ego. All right, Then let's keep going. How about this? We're going to step it up even another notch. We're going for the 800 CFM. This is a world record-setting hurricane here. Do not use this in the Gulf states. All right, you're going to trigger some people. They'll have trauma. Just not available in the Gulf states. Okay. Anyway, coming in at $380. That's the list price, but there is a $95 off coupon. That's going to take this to in the upper 200s. That's sub 300 for a 800 CFM backpack blower with a 4 amp hour battery, with a charger, 4-year warranty on that. What's not to like? All right, then we got, how about this? A tiller. It's that time of year. Get out there, get some gardening, start growing some of your own veggies and whatnot. Maybe just flowers, whatever it is you want to grow. I'm not going to judge. The FDA might, but anyway, we're looking at 80 volt, 10-inch cultivator, 2 amp hour battery, and charger on this. Just a great little option. The fact that they've got the cultivator coming in at $350. Then we've got the telescoping, not telescoping, cordless pole saw here, 10-inch, 80 volt. It comes with a full kit, 2 amp hour battery and charger included on this one, all right? I don't think it's a telescoping. 9-foot length maximum reach. Maybe it does. Let me see here. 3-piece aluminum shaft. Oh, I think you could take out pieces. So you can just do the 2-piece or the 3-piece, 10-inch bar, automatic chain lubrication. By the way, these kind of things, they always leak oil. I've not seen a pole saw yet that doesn't leak oil. It's just going to happen. My favorite oil to use in pole saws is vegetable oil. It runs a little thinner. It leaks a little bit more, but it's way cheaper than bar oil. And you can buy it in bigger bulk. And if it gets on everything, it's food grade. Who cares, right? So, and it smells decent, right? So anyway, $270 is the price on that one. All right, now we got another backpack sprayer, essentially the same thing, just in your 80 volt, full kit, full 9 yards, lowest price in 30 days, $200. $200 for a full kit on a 4-gallon backpack sprayer. That's such a good deal. It's almost worth buying it, even if you're not in the rest of the Greenworks line. That is, how much was the other one? That is just such a good deal on that. Let me go pull up the other one we had there. The other one was $175. $175 for the full kit, or for $25 more, you can step up to the 80 volt. I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? Which way would you go? All right, we got a couple more of these, and we'll get to the CEO's comments. Greenworks, we got to talk about the Greenworks Zero Turn. They do have cheaper ones, but this is the one that's on sale right now. And this is like the big boy, 60-inch, 16 amp hours, 4 8 amp hour batteries. Comes with a wall charger, so you can come in, plug. You don't even have to take the batteries out. You just plug it in like an electric vehicle, and it charges everything up, and you are ready to go. Now, I think I was probably a little confusing on this. It's 4 of the 80 volt batteries, and then 2 of these special lithium pack batteries here, which means that these 4 batteries, it takes all 6 batteries. But you can leave these top 2 in, and then you can take these other 4 out and use them in all your other equipment. So you get kind of a mix of these 2 types of battery packs, all right? And this has got the triple blade design. That's how it's getting that 60-inch cut path on it. All right, next up, we got snowblower. And I got to include this because come winter, someone's going to be like, it's going to be like November, December, where they got the first 8 inches of snow, and they're going to be like, where's all the great deals on snowblowers? They were in spring, just like I tell you. Look at this. Now, it's tool only, all right, bare tool, but you're already getting all the batteries with everything else. 80 volt, 20 inch with the headlights up on the handle so you can see what you're doing, so you can snow blow at night, $250. That's a great around town snowblower. Now, I'm up here in Montana. We do get some serious snow. You've seen the videos I've done with the Ego snowblowers, but I'll be honest, most of the people around town use a snowblower about this size. Because the snow we get, it doesn't like drop 24 inches in one day. It snows 4 inches for a month, every day for a month. So this kind of snowblower, as long as you're doing that daily kind of maintenance, is a lot better for you. And I know some of you younger guys are like, I got a shovel and it's even cheaper and it's cordless too. Look up the heart attack statistics. Get a snowblower. It's not worth trying to gut it out and be out there and do that. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt your back, don't pull a hernia, and don't get a heart attack because you don't want to drop $250 on a snowblower. All right. Anyway, And here's the other option. Again, 250, but now we're talking full kit. You're getting the battery, 2 amp hour battery, you're getting the charger. I did a video on the Ego one. Again, I bought that one myself. I think these are great little tools. Again, are they for everyone? No. You got to have the right use case for it. Either you got light snow or you got small areas. And we got like some really like niche kind of tiny areas, small sidewalks. I got a deck up here that I like to blow the snow off of. So getting one of these just makes it easier for like around the shop and stuff like that. I don't need to do the whole driveway because we're really kind of a parking lot and it's all gravel and stuff. I just need the areas where I walk. And this is perfect for that, all right? $250, full kit on that. Now let's talk about what the CEO said. They reached out to me and said, hey, I was supposed to go to whatever the big trade show is, Equip down in Kentucky, and I ended up not going. And so they said, well, let's do it by email. So my first question I asked is, Greenworks has so many battery lines for outdoor power equipment. Will there be any consolidation of these lines? Basically, like I said, they've got at least 5 different lines of tools. There's got to be, at some point, we have to have the thought of, do we really need that many lines of tools? And his response was, and this is, the other 4 responses he gave were great. This one feels really corporate. He said, and I can't do an impersonation here, but I'll try. Our focus is on ensuring that each battery line delivers the best performance and value for different customer needs. We are always working diligently to enhance our equipment, ensuring that it meets the highest standards of performance, durability, and reliability. Boy, talk about a non-answer, dude. But anyway, let's go on to the next one. Will there be any emphasis or growth on the Pro line? And he said this year, Greenworks Commercial is placing a strong emphasis on our Optimus line, which breaks down into 4 series. The 3 series designed for homeowners, the 5 series for serious DIYers, part-time landscapers, and the 7 series for full-time landscapers. And then the 9 series, which is for heavy-duty professional work. People are looking for equipment and tools that allow them to complete projects quickly without sacrificing power or performance. The Optimus line provides exactly that for all levels of users. Okay, still a little corporate. I mean, he's a CEO, but we're getting some information that he hasn't really released to anybody else. Then he says, and I ask, will we see any expansion of access to brick and mortar retail, which is, you can't find it at a lot here. So, I mean, you can find it online easily, but what about just going down to the store and grabbing it? He said, yes, we will continue to grow. We are focused on making Greenworks products more accessible to customers nationwide. A diverse range of our initiative eco-friendly tools are already available in various retail locations, making it easy for customers to access the power and convenience of our products. Now, I did follow up on this going like, what are you talking about? And mostly what he's talking about are farm and ranch stores. Also like independent hardware stores and stuff like that. So that's where you're going to be seeing most of this growth. Will there be any specific focus on the professional landscape market? Greenworks is committed to making the switch to electric equipment seamless for the professionals by delivering powerful, reliable tools that cut emissions, reduce maintenance, and boost efficiency, profitability, and comfort. Our high-performance Optimus line delivers this and meeting the toughest job demands while aligning with evolving environmental standards. Yeah, I know, but the reality is, regardless of what you think about climate change and all that kind of stuff, many municipalities, whether it be at the state, the local, the HOA, regional level, are requiring like, hey, you got to go electric. And if you're a pro, you have to take that into consideration if you want to compete in those markets. Not even if you want to compete, if you want to get a step ahead of your competition. And they're doing that. Ego's doing that. They showed at Equip a big professional line, and here we hear that Greenworks is going the same route. And I asked, what would be Greenworks' primary focus in 2025? And they said their primary focus is accelerating the adoption of outdoor battery-powered tools as environmental regulations continue to evolve. Yeah. We are committed to providing landscapers with powerful, efficient, sustainable electric alternatives that not only meet their performance needs, but also offer a strong return on investment. We are also focusing on expanding our product lineup and ensuring accessibility for consumers by providing efficient, powerful battery tools. Yeah, okay. It kind of feels like it's generated by AI. But, the point is this. They're focusing on pros. They're focusing on getting it out to more brick and mortars. And they're focused on involving the line and making it better, which is basically what we want to hear. Any big bombs that they dropped in there. Well, the fact that I think that they're really pushing the professional line, I think that's a big heads up. Anyway, let me know. Are you going to be choosing Ego? Are you going to be choosing Greenworks? Again, we've had a relationship with Ego in the past, as of last winter and stuff like that. We have not, at any point in time, like had a professional working relationship with Greenworks. Not saying I wouldn't like to work with them in the future, hint, hint. But the point is, I think Greenworks is getting to that point where they're competing head to head. Okay, maybe not quite head to head. You're not seeing all the real finishing touches, if you would, all the details, the electronic smart machine kind of stuff, like the touch sensitivity for the controls, the 3-blade system, some of the higher end electronics kind of stuff you're seeing from Ego. But as far as build quality and power, I think they're definitely there. And so if you don't worry about the little, bonus items, as it were, and you just want something that cuts the grass, does it well, and is well made, and is a little bit cheaper, Greenworks definitely should be on your list. Now, I'll put links to everything down below. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Where are you going with this? Or are you going to go with Toro? Or is there somebody else out there you're looking at? I'd love to hear about it. I'm sure everyone else would too. And if you like what we do here, go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.